What's really good, LeSBP Trading, Familia, Buenos Dias, Bonjour, Bon dia, Salbono, Guten Abend, Konbanwa, Masake, Aftab. Thank you all for tuning in. So it has been probably like 2 weeks since I uploaded. I just kind of wanted to go through some things for this past week. We've been making a lot of movements. We added a little bit of money to the account. We started trading 2 contracts, and yeah, just kind of want to dive into that. So this week we had ISM manufacturing PMI, ADP non-farm employment change, ISM service PMI on Wednesday, nothing on Tuesday. Thursday we had unemployment claims, and then Friday we had NFP. So it was a slightly bigger week. Nothing too crazy, but definitely something that you need to look at and make sure that you're trading properly and stuff like that or whatever, because NFP is nobody's bitch. So looking at the trading chart or whatnot, I'm gonna kind of start off a little bit further back to Thursday, which is February 26th. As you see, we had this really nice trade that we missed, and then you can tell that the markets wanted to keep going down. Now, if you look at those higher time frames, you'll see basically, take all that down. You'll see basically that we came to a certain point where it was kind of like all-time highs back in October 2025, and then ever since basically like January this year, we've been kind of pushing away from that. So down, kind of catching a balance down, but it is getting stopped at this particular point here, which is kind of like the low of February or the low of this year. So we're kind of looking at that kind of stuff and seeing where we can go. But long story short, I just wanted to make sure I included this because this is how I think when I start off my week. All right, so February 26th is what I was looking at basically, and then moving on from there into this week. So this week we had March the 2nd. I'm not looking for anything but sells currently right now. So any buy opportunities, just like we had here on March 2nd, any buy opportunities I wasn't actually doing anything with. Actually, on March 2nd, I ended up adding $1,000 to the account. So that puts us from 1,557.94 cents to 2,557.94 cents with the added amount of 1,000 on there. So that's what I was doing on March 2nd. Didn't trade anything. Then sadly, we had this really big push overnight. And when that usually happens, you don't usually get a lot. So I had that in mind, and I decided not to trade that day. We had a sell opportunity that I did not take because of this super humongous push. And usually when I see stuff like that overnight, especially when it goes through like Asian session or Tokyo session, I should say, excuse me, I don't know why I was called Asian session. When it goes through like Tokyo, when it goes through London, like, and it's just straight one way, then I know I'm not trading that day. So this was Tuesday. There was no news on Tuesday anyways. I didn't foresee any kind of follow through. Literally the only thing that happened to us actually nothing happened to us on Tuesday. The next thing that I have on the statements is Wednesday. So yeah, literally nothing happened to us on Tuesday. Over Tuesday night, you can see a little bit of chop, and then you can see it starting to head back above this high from New York. So into London session, you see it kind of push past that high over here to the left, and it just kind of continues. It continues to go. It's very interesting because yeah, you can see like a London to New York, but you don't usually see like Tokyo into, or New Zealand into Tokyo into London into New York all going the same direction. You don't usually see that. So that's why I didn't trade on Tuesday. On Wednesday, we didn't have anything because these were buys, and my bias is sells. Now, finally, we had something to play with on Thursday night. Looking over Wednesday night into the early London session, we had a nice push right here from like kind of New Zealand going into Tokyo, but we had a nice little push above the New York high here at 1404. A little push over that, but then a rejection. Then once again, even with that rejection, it still didn't go down. To me, it still didn't go down far enough. So in my head, I'm like, okay, there could be a continuation here sometime later, I also use HMAs and stuff like that or whatever. So my HMAs were looking good. And once it came back up, I was like, okay, we can possibly get into a sell position. We can possibly get into a sell position. What kept me in here was my HMAs, of course. That's the first thing. But the second thing is, as you can see, price got stopped up here 2 times. Price got stopped up there twice. So as soon as it passed by my HMAs, I made a mistake here first. Taking a first trade, I said close to $7 loss on this first trade. First time trading 2 contracts. So this is my first day on Thursday trading 2 contracts. So um, I didn't wait, for any other confirmation other than my HMAs. So once it passed back, I ended up jumping to a sell. Very small loss, 17.5 pips. Not mad at it because we got a second opportunity, which did what I was hoping, which was reached up to the top of this kind of high London session in a sense. And I use all these words very loosely because I don't usually honestly use this as a confluence. That's just like a, oh great, it happened type of thing. So either way, it came up here, got rejected. I was like, okay, cool. Looking for my HMAs to get passed. We ended up with this really nice candle, which pushed it down. And then once this candle, even though it rejected, once this candle came down, I was like, okay, it's passing by my HMAs. Let's see what we can do on this second candle that passed my HMA, which is this one. Right after it closed, jumped in. We had a really, 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 really good entry. Like it ended down here. We got in at literally the tip of this candle. And then boom, from there, I think it was like 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I don't even know. 13 minutes. So by the time we closed at 13 minutes, and we got a really good exit, like Jesus Christ, it was a great exit. So that is the 5th of March. On the 5th of March, you can see the commissions, the fees, and all the other bullshit. But we made 658 bucks. Now, of course, we did take a $70 loss initially. So if you calculate it, we actually won like 720 or something like that on this particular trade. Yeah, 728 on this particular trade. But of course, we had the first initial loss here of 70 bucks. So really tight, really small loser into a really big, great winner. Not mad at it at all. I just got to figure out how I can tighten those up. But at the same time, I mean, shit, it just happens. To me, I feel like, even if it was a bigger loser, it just happens. So you're going to lose regardless. Now, we had another opportunity to come back into the trade over here. And I did not take that one. That's the one that was the kind of running trade for a bigger profit. The only reason why I didn't take it is because it literally just barely did not cross my HMA. Like if it had crossed it, one of the candles had ended up above like one of the lower HMAs and then rejected, boom, we would have got in. But because it never crossed my HMAs, I just decided not to go ahead and take it. That was the nice running trade. And I pretty much think that's it for the week. So we ended up making like $650 this week, not including the 1,000 that we added. But we're diving into 2 contracts, so it is kind of nerve wracking. It is a lot more, and with one contract, if I lost 17 pips, that's like 34 bucks, 34.50 or something like that. Basically, you put 2 contracts on that, you just double, that loss or double the winner. So we'll see how that goes. Keep you all connected and figure out exactly how we want to start doing the streams and stuff like that. I'm still noticing some lag in the video in comparison to like the sound. So I keep my camera kind of real small down there just so y'all can see me and shit like that, whatever. But at the same time, in my head, I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want to be explaining, things with a big screen on my face because the recording doesn't catch up to the sound. So if we stream, it'll probably look something just like this, with me down there really small in the bottom of the screen. And then other than that, we'll probably just roll with it. But yeah, so we had a few trading opportunities that I did not take. I wasn't really here. And honestly, I didn't see anything that I liked. It was looking extra ugly from the beginning. So 8:30 came in, and the pushed the market down, then it pushed back up. And then by this time, I was just like, yeah, I don't see anything happening. And plus, my HMAs weren't looking very good. So I was just like, yeah, it looks like a bunch of jumble. So I kind of just left this day alone. I did mock trade it through paper trading just to see what would happen, but this ended up being an okay trade initially, and then it came right back. And then this one at the end of the day ended up being an okay trade, break even, came right back. And then there was another opportunity that I usually don't take, which is why it's not on here. But anything after 3 o'clock or 1500 or 3 p.m. Eastern, I don't usually take anything after 1500. So in my head, I was like, well, since I wouldn't have been able to take it either way, I shouldn't even mock trade it. So I just left that one alone, but it was literally right here. And that was the actual good trade. So I don't know, very interesting. But I'm not going to chase it. I'm not going to chase it. That's one thing that I have to promise myself and keep true to, especially now that we're on the 2 contracts. I have to promise myself that I'm not chasing trades and just attempting anything that I see that's good. If it doesn't meet my confluences, we don't take it. That's how I need to see it. All right, y'all. Thanks. Hopefully you have a good weekend.